So this is my week 6 digital reflection, and it's regarding data. And as I was thinking about, just a second, there's something that's bothering me there. Okay. As I was thinking about the questions that were posed and the idea that educators are overwrought with data, it made me really start thinking and reflecting on the last 23 years that I've had in being a classroom teacher and also working from a district side of things as a support for teachers. And what I have found is that while we say we are data driven and while we collect a lot of data, for the most part, it is meaningless data. And what I mean by that is it's data that we look at and maybe we discuss, and then out of sight, out of mind. It's not data that actually guides instruction. It's not data that actually changes anything. It's like schools are all, well aware of how far they're falling below the line in terms of district assessments, in terms of the CASP assessments, in terms of school site assessments, but nothing changes. Classrooms look the same today as they did 5 years ago. I find that data, for the most part, is misused in the sense that it's used to simply label kids, to identify whether they should be tested or whether they should go into special ed, or trying to get them out of someone's classroom, or so you can track them and put all of the low kids in one class. But it's not used strategically to say, okay, these are the things that we've had in place. These are the results that we're getting. Let's drill down on those results and let's see if we need to change something. It becomes just something that we know, not something that we do anything with. So at this point, our district is heading in an awesome direction, I believe. I just had 4 management days with principals and other management in the district, and it's run by our cabinet. And we're all creating our own long-range MTSS plan for our school sites. And in the MTS plan, it has to take into account our behavior and all the tiers. It has to take into account trauma and social emotional learning in all the tiers, and it has to take into account academics. And as part of that, the district is going to be having us report monthly data from our school sites to the cabinet. So as school sites, we have to determine what are going to be our formative assessments for reading, what are going to be our formative assessments for reading, and what are going to be our formative assessments for math. All 3 academic areas, lately, all we have is a district writing assessment and we have the CASP assessment. And other than that, no data is collected or reported. And so this is going to be making a huge shift. Every school site has to choose formative assessments for all 3 areas, and then the data is going to be reported on a monthly basis. And then the principals have to meet with their MTSS team to go over the data. And the principals will also be meeting with their squad leaders to go over the data and talk about how they're going to make changes, how they're going to be implementing things that are different. So it still can be misused. It still can lead to a lack of results. However, there's a lot more accountability in the system, and because the teachers have to choose at their school sites, it should lead to more buy-in, and there should be a lot more discussions happening about, so how are you changing instruction? So what are you changing? What are you doing to help these kids? It's not just, oh, he's low, he needs to be in special ed and try to get him removed. It's, what are we really going to do? I think it's going to give teachers a much better knowledge of what RTI actually is. And so I'm really excited about where we're going with that. And hopefully some of those negative trends in data are going to change in the next year or so. So I'm excited to see.